and salutations, it's me, Salty. Welcome back to 2 Cents Toys, and today I'm going over the MOTU Origins Wind Raider. This came in from Big Bad Toy Store. Kind of surprised this showed up. I'm still waiting on a lot of pre-ordered figures from there. If you saw the unboxing video from a couple days ago, you'll see I got this, the Land Shark and Ram Man, all at the same time, but pile of loot for you. But this thing's huge, like legitimately huge. Like there's childhood mech neck next to it. Like this thing's gigantic. It's the first new Wind Raider that I get to own, so the wings are actually going to work and everything. I'm very excited. The tow hook might actually even work, he said facetiously. Anyway, looking at it, you see we get this big old window with the Wind Raider. Get some nice little artwork down here where it says includes hover display. Up there on the top flap, we got He-Man riding it, and then these guys over here. Top of the box, we have Grayskull swimming at the cannon, the flesh-colored Stratos, and what looks to be Giants. Maybe, hopefully. I'd love to see Megator and Titus and all of them show up in this line. Like just a nice, 10-inch figure. I think that'd be stupid cool. On the side of the box, we have this vehicle, and then we have the Lords of Power versions of Man-at-Arms, Beastman, and Merman. Going with Lords of Power version based on the armor and the head for Merman, the coloring for Beastman, and the fur around the bits of armor for Man-at-Arms. On the other side of the box, we have the Goddess Tila, Zodak, whoever that guy is, and that guy. Second time in recent memory that little frog dude has shown up. And this isn't the only time he shows up on this box either. As you can see here on the back, we have this battlefield display, and Zodak's over here. But all along here, we have all those same kind of characters and versions of them. So, I don't know, maybe that frog guy's supposed to be Leech? Maybe? I don't know. It seems weird that Leech would be with Skeletor, not with Hordak, but whatever. At the bottom, we get an explanation of the kind of battle gimmicks, the fact that it can plug into the top of Grayskull, and then all this right here. Buzzsaw Hordak is on pre-order, so I'll get him when I get him. And that's the bottom if you give a shit. All that out of the way, I'm going to cut this box open. I'm going to pull the Wind Raider out. We'll go over bits and bobs that aren't already attached. We'll look at the Wind Raider. We'll put figures in it. We're going to have some fun. So here are the Wind Raider instructions / the contents. So kind of shows you what all you're supposed to have, which I appreciate, especially with the recent uptick with MOTU. People like buying things like Castle Grayskull and the like, and opening them, taking contents, or returning them. So it gives you kind of a checklist, so to speak. And these are the instructions. It kind of tells you how to put everything together, even though it's pretty self-explanatory. Something of note, it lets you know that this computer and the flight stand itself is a one-time assembly. It's a one-way trip. So once that plugs in and once that plugs into that base, it's done. Like, you're not really going to be able to unattach it without a lot of heat and a lot of force. And then lets you know you can display the Wind Raider by plugging it in. Instructions on how to play. It's a little bizarre, but kind of just tells you how it all works, how the winch works, how the hook works, how you can launch it, all that kind of stuff. More ways to play. So you can attach it, and like I said in Grayskull, here it shows you can attach it to the roof. So that's probably how mine's going to get displayed, to be honest with you, because he's going to take up a lot of space on the shelf. And my Grayskull's at the top of a bookshelf, so that's where it's going to get displayed probably. So here's the flight stand. We get a little bit of a design on this side and kind of a metal mirror finish on the other. The other one-way trip item is this computer, which has some pretty neat little readouts there. It's hollow completely, which would have been nice just to have a, one sheet of plastic on the back. But we have the rudder, which comes with a sticker already applied. Well, technically 2 stickers, but that's the rudder for the ship. We have 2 of these wings, and they are identical in design. So one for the left, one for the right side. This is the silver part of the base that's detachable. You can see the plug there that goes into Castle Grayskull's roof. Though these tabs do make me a little bit nervous right here. I'm going to try it out and see what happens, but I am kind of nervous that over time these may end up snapping. And then we have the kind of crackly rock base that is the same shade as Grayskull, at least down at the bottom. These are supposed to be able to kind of seamlessly mesh into Grayskull. So I'm going to kind of finagle my way around the base of Grayskull and see where this goes. When I find it, I'll take a picture of it and show it to you. Okay, so I put the flight stand in and that part of the base in. It's really easy. You just kind of pull on it and it comes right out. So no real worries there. Also, it only goes one direction because you have a kind of a cutout here and the peg right there, so there's really no way to mess it up. On top of all this kind of outline stuff. And that's the base all put together. Very nice. And looking at the Wind Raider before I put all the wings on, the stickers are already applied, which I very much appreciate, and some paint deco on certain things. As you may or may not know, if you're new to the channel, I don't like stickers. I don't like applying them because I always mess them up. Despite what my custom videos might lead you to believe, my hands kind of shake sometimes and my stickers always end up crooked. Sticker thrusters there on the back, and you might be hearing this kind of like plastic sound or knocking sound. It's because there's wheels on the bottom, which also has more detail for us. So should you elect to, you can roll the Wind Raider instead of, flying everywhere. And there's the Wind Raider all put together. We have the wings and the rudder on now. The wings spin. No shock there. You can kind of get a little up and down, but you're not really supposed to. So it's not like they'll stay, but it's just present. I think that's to prevent snapping. The rudder has a little bit of side to side, not a huge amount, but it is present. And then we have the grappling hook, which has a button to launch there at the front and shoots out and goes out about that far. And as a complete surprise to no one, you can wheel it back in. The grooves here make it able to only be inserted one direction, so I appreciate that. They're pretty much making it idiot-proof. So I like to insert it and then spin everything that way. And then to make it, face the right way, you just kind of keep rotating. Nice little ship, I think. A quick side note, something I appreciate, these wings can come off, so if you want to put them on a shelf and that doesn't quite fit, you can always pop a wing off and shove them back, which is really helpful for this review. But there it is on the flight stand. So the flight stand combined with the base itself is about the height of a MOTU Origins figure. So just to give you some kind of scale there. The figures with the kind of He-Man basic body fit with no problem. Battle Armor Skeletor fits with no problem. Cronus fits with no problem. The females also fit with no problem, though you're going to have to kind of stretch out the arms a little bit just because they're smaller. And the Beastman body has no problem fitting either. And because I was curious, vintage figures fit just fine. And before we close it out, here's a photo of the Wind Raider on top of Castle Grayskull. And you can see, it's pretty sizable, even compared to Castle Grayskull. That's probably where mine's going to live, is there on the top. And that's really all I got for today. Very happy with this vehicle. I like the size of it. I like kind of all the sculpted details in it. And it's a cool toy. It's got wheels on the bottom, so you can pop the wings off and the rudder off, and it's just another land vehicle if that's what you want it to be. Or, it flies. Like, I don't know. I really don't know what I'm trying to say other than I like it. That's the short and the long of it. But you let me know what you think down below about the Wind Raider, how it compares to the original, if you had the original or not. Are you trying to find this one? Unfortunately, I don't own an original. I have seen photos online of the size differences, and this one's quite a bit bigger than the original one, comparatively speaking. Part of the reason that's kept me from buying the vintage one is how fragile the orange wings are and how frequently they snap, and that's just a headache that I don't want to deal with. It's just me personally, but I'm very happy with this one. But if you like what you saw today and you're new to the channel, then all that asks is that you click like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It's a great way to help me out, and I very much appreciate it when you do. And I do thank you all for stopping by and spending some time with me today. So, until next time, I'm Salty, signing off.